Welcome back to the channel, and this episode on wheels and tyres. So you may remember back in 2022 I did a video on wheels and tyres, and that was quite significant because when you go down the sprint paddock, one of the hot topics that people are constantly talking about is what tyres do you fit to your car, because in sprinting tyres equals seconds. The difference between a good tyre that will stick around corners compared to a hard tyre that's just going to slide can be 2-3 seconds over a 60-second circuit, so it matters. For the Midget though, there's a problem. 13 inch isn't exactly a common tyre size by today's standards, as most cars are now pushing 18, 19 inches. So availability is pretty low, therefore your choice is pretty limited. So after a lot of research to join Group 2, which is a road-going class, I'm limited to the MSA yearbook Group 1A tyres. So the decision in the end, I decided to go with these Uniroyal Rain Expert 3 in 165/70/13 format on a 5-inch wheel. Tread wear on this then being 300, and you've got a fairly aggressive pattern here, I guess designed to cope with wet weather conditions. And these have been good. In fact, on a Midget, I would say these were absolutely outstanding. In corners, they would let go predictably, slide a little bit, so you could drift the back end round. And what that meant is the car was very, very controllable in the corners, albeit only limited by the amount of grip that you actually had. And that's not a lot, because as you can see, the actual rubber on the road is fairly limited. So for 2024 and 3, I decided to upgrade. So for 2023 and 2024, I went with these. These then, the Yokohama A539 in a 175/60/13 format. Probably, I'd argue, one of the most widely available tyres at 13 inch that are deemed as performance tyres. So what was the difference then? Well, look at the amount of rubber that's on the road compared to these. So in theory there's more grip. You've still got a 300 wear rating in these, so the stickiness is arguably the same. But if I put the back edges together, you can see there's quite a considerable difference in diameter. Probably about an inch, inch and a half, all being said. And that's not always a bad thing. Puts the car lower to the ground, means it will rotate faster, so in theory a little bit faster acceleration. So what was the difference on the track, I hear you say? Well, did they make me go faster? Yeah, I think they did. The observant amongst you all have noticed that I only ever put these on the back of the car, not on the front of the car, and that was to reduce the amount of drift that I was getting, and to give me a bit more grip, so therefore going around corners faster. And did it work? Yes, it did. I was able to go around corners faster. The drift was controllable, very controllable, because of how low the car was to the ground. And actually, if you're looking for list 1A tyres to go on a Midget or a Mini, I don't think you can beat the Yokohama A539. If I had my time again, I'd have put 4 on the car on 5.5-inch wheels from the off. But 2025 is a whole different ballgame. You see, in Group 3, you can use List 1A, List 1B, and List 1C tyres. That means you can buy some pretty sticky rubber. So I've spent the last 6 months really just wandering the paddock, looking at wheels and tyres, doing some research online as well, to try and find my preferred choice for 2025. Now, I'm not saying I've got it right, but I think I've made a wise choice. Let's just compare these then back to the original Rain Expert 3s. So get to the punchline, I hear you say. What you sticking on your car? So for 2025, I'm going to be sporting some of these. These are Extreme VR2s in a 185 6013 format in a W3 softness, which is actually the softest compound that you can buy. More importantly, they are E1 rated, so they are legal to use on the road, which means I can use them. Why did you choose those then, I hear you ask? So the difference between normal road tyres and sticky rubber is reckoned to be about 2 seconds over a minute, give or take. I mean, I don't know exactly. So I wanted the softest rubber that was going to get me through 60 seconds of tarmac as stickily as possible. So whereas these tyres are road tyres with the 300 tread wear, these tyres come with 50 tread wear. Think about that. That's 6 times stickier than, in theory, a good road tyre. And indeed, there was one guy who told me this year that these tyres in this compound are typically only good for 1 lap. Any higher, more than 1 lap, and they get too hot because their working temperature is 0 to 30 degrees. So if it was a circuit car, these would be useless. You'd just burn the rubber off the tyre. But for sprinting, 60 seconds, they're perfect. And just look about the amount of rubber on the road compared to those. I am genuinely very, very excited about giving these a try. If I put the two side by side there, just look at how much rubber there is on the road there in comparison. Size wise, near identical then, pretty much. But width wise, this is a 5-inch wheel, this is a 6-inch wheel. So there's at least another 1 to 2 inches of rubber on the road with these. So I seem to be collecting wheels now. I always wondered why people had tyre racks on their trailers. I now know. So there you go then, tyres for the 2025 season. 6-inch wide wheels, so another set of wheels. You'll notice some classic Melba wheels here. So looking forward to giving those a try and seeing what the car looks like in those. We'll give it a new livery for 2025. And I look forward to the next future video, Wheels and Tyres 3, where no doubt I'll be giving you an update on how these have performed in the 2025 season. So until then, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Hope you've enjoyed a little bit of an insight into the decision on wheels and tyres for this year. And I'll see you on the next video.